stomping through the series here. Bunny is not taking a moment to rest at all. Just in one game, out a game, in a game, out a game, series after series. 2-0s, 2-0s. As we go into this, on the right hand side, our red Protoss player from Against All Authority is going to be DnS. And down to the bottom left is going to be our blue Terran player from Team Liquid. It is Bunny. Let me very quickly, before I forget again, to update Holy Warrior onto the sub list, the donation list, sorry. Just before I forget again, next time around. Very, very much again, Holy Warrior, for the donation. And again, to Cadus TV for the 2-month resub. Welcome back, as I said before. Okay. Cool, so as we get into this, we do see a Cybernex core coming down at the back of the main base here for DnS. So we're already setting up into a cyber core in the back. I'm just going to be seeing a pylon coming in on the other side of the map. So very quickly here, DnS is going to be looking for some kind of proxy Stargate play, most likely, as we set up into this. Can one of the mods actually update the title of the stream, please? I just forgot. I don't want to tab out again. But if one of the mods can hear me, please update the title of the stream if it isn't updated already, because one of you guys might have done it. Thank you very much. Reaper is just going to be coming across the map from Bunny here in a moment or two, just looking to see what's going on, what's happening. And, I mean, there's a Zealot on the way out really quickly from DnS. He's not gone into an expansion here early on at all. So, I mean, this is straight up just aggression from him. And it's not just a proxy Stargate, it's actually a proxy Robo. So, DnS is definitely opening it up differently and aggressively here in this game. And, well, Bunny, what he really needs to see is, well, he'll steal the Zealot, and that's going to be good information, and he'll probably just work away on this Zealot for the Reaper. Takes a couple of shots on it, though. Needs to be careful not to take too many of those. I was just going to be seeing the Reaper getting blasted away there. The Zealot getting blasted away. So, I mean, the Zealot should go down, so Reaper just going to keep on working its way through the Zealot. As we see him just pulling back, and another grenade coming down as well. And, yeah, just kind of looking for the kill on this. So the pylons are on the way up for Bunny, over on his low ground, for DnS on Bunny's low ground natural, and obviously that's what the Mothership Core is on the way over to try and achieve. A couple of Marines on the way out though, and honestly I think we might be able to see this bunker come up before the Photon Overcharge is set. Oh, it's so close. Not quite close enough though. A couple of Marines come out, and well, I mean, it's kind of an interesting play. Bunny doesn't know about that proxy Robo. He also doesn't know about the lack of expansion just yet, as we're going to see him getting caught by the depth. He does just go across the map to try and scout here, as that first depot is going to go down. So that's going to fall, as Bunny is just going to fall back with units. He's got a tech lab on the way on his factory, probably looking for a Cyclone here to help him defend. I'm just going to be going into the next stage of this. So Mothership Core going to drop a Photon Overcharge. He's going to start working his way through the reactor. And, well, I'm Immortal in here as well now. I mean, Bunny doesn't really have a lot to deal with this, you know? I mean, this is a lot. As you're going to see, that Mothership Core falls, and well, the Mothership Core falls pretty big, but I mean, Immortal over here, Warpgate's going to finish shortly. Bunny's going to keep alive his barracks at least for a little while longer. As you're going to see, I mean, the shields on the Immortal now popped. Can he still fight against it with this number of Marines? I'm not sure if he can. Things don't get better for Bunny because, I mean, well, actually, there's a Cyclone, so I guess it sort of does. But Warpins are going to start coming in as well. That being said, they're only going to be slow Warpins. He actually locks onto the Adept on the low ground, so that's kind of nice. The Reaper over here will go down too. There's the second Immortal, though. Again, it's going to be slow Warpins, but better than nothing. A couple more Marines popping out as well. I'm just going to see this Cyclone just locking onto that Immortal. And just going to be trying to push that away. As the Marines and the SCVs just trying to well, continue to fight here, basically. This Immortal pushing up the ramp, and you're going to see Marines are sat in this bunker. Another Cyclone going to lock on, going to push that away once again, but just not quite enough. I'm going to see Photon Overcharge too. I'm just going to be forcing that barracks to finally lift and move away from the reactor, which is a shame, but Bunny, you know, he's very well defended here now. He's got the Cyclone, he's got the, not just the Cyclone, he's also got the Siege Tank. I mean, he needs to be careful with the, he needs to be very careful with the, barracks, because the barracks is going to be picked away at from the low ground if he isn't too careful. So does have to be a little bit cautious right now as we see Cyclone just working its way through the pylons. And well, DnS is going to be kind of held off here, so Bunny ends up being in a position where he's continuing to add on another racks, he's adding on his starport, and he is going to have that CC available to move down to the low ground as well if he would like to. So we'll keep watching for that as we see the I mean, everything just repaired over here for Bunny in the end. I mean, he doesn't really lose that much if you kind of look at it overall. A few Marines, some SCVs. And he actually killed a few probes, I guess. Killed a couple of probes with the Ripper across the map, which we missed. Apologies. He killed one of the Immortals too, so it's been pretty successful for Bunny overall in terms of defending. That, that Cyclone goes down so quickly there as the Immortals drop on top of it. So Cyclone dies almost immediately. But 2 Siege Tanks now means that these Immortals can't really get too much as they try to get a little bit of damage done. I'm going to see these Marines just try and push those Immortals away. And we're going to be seeing the Warp Prism just moving around. So, Warp Prism moving around and a couple of Marines on the way out as well. Immortals dropping down. Try and pick up a tank, but Bunny is very quick to pick those up and get them out of trouble from those Immortals. As we see, actually, one of the Immortals dropping back down gets blown up by the tanks now, so DnS not being too careful with that. I mean, he's still on one base, so I mean, he's got to try and end this soon. He's warping in more Adepts to try and just... It's just kind of pure Adept Immortal. Is it going to be enough, though? Well, not necessarily. As you're going to see, these Marines just going to be... We're going to have to be a little bit careful to see these Adepts moving forwards, and just going to be seeing these Adepts coming up this ramp, and... Well, Immortals are getting down the tanks very quickly, but the Adept numbers are dropping very swiftly as well. The Warp Prism about to go down, so no further warp-ins, no reinforcements, no way out for this Immortal Live. I think Bunny, when he holds off the initial wave of this, realistically has more than enough to kind of hold off the rest. And even if the tanks go down, I mean, it buys him time to deal with everything else himself. GG! And DnS taps out. Bunny takes skin and introduces them. Doesn't really make sense. To the upper right-hand side of the map is going to be our blue Terran player. It is going to be Team Liquid's Bunny. And to the bottom left, it's going to be our red pros player from Against All Authority. It is DnS. So, as we set up into this, we're going to be going into Iraq's gas for Bunny. And this time, again, expecting DnS to probably not try and go one base all in. So, we're setting up into this and just looking to see what is going to be going on here as a probe comes in, and DnS is having a little bit of a look around to see what's happening and see what's going on. Just moving around this main base here. And I mean, he's going to be probably just backing away. I mean, he sees one gas, and that's kind of what you want to see. It looks as though he kind of wants to maybe come in and try and just confirm the expand. But just looking, yeah, he's just going to come back in, just make sure he actually sees the Reaper building as well, so he knows it's not a reactor expand, so just a little bit more information, and that's actually going to be enough for him now to pull back. So, let's just see the probe is just going to be coming down towards the bottom left once again. As the Reaper comes out, we're going to be watching this Reaper for a couple of minutes here just to see what's going to be going on with this and see where this is going. Again, the winner of this series will play against E-Laser in the next match. And another best of 3. And then the winner of that plays TLO. And then the winner of that plays whoever comes through the bottom side the bracket. So we're just coming across, we'll be hopping up into the main base. Moshiko will try and jump onto it. When he coming across here, sees the natural. And that's going to be about it for now. He hops back down to low ground. I don't think he meant to do that. I think it's just the way the Mothership Core pushed him. As Reaper is just going to back away. We see a warp gate storm from DnS as well. Not really too much of a surprise. He's just going to go into a Robo facility follow-up here. So, Robo once again, but obviously this time not on one basis. Stalker's actually on a hunt for Reaper, so close to finding it, but he's just going to keep on moving away now. So, just moving away up north a little bit. So Bunny just going to pull away up north, and we're just going to be seeing it looking to maybe come back in the next couple of moments too, once again. As we see him just going into a couple of extra barracks. So Bunny, very fast third CC with an extra couple of racks, all for one gas. Engineering bill on the way down. And he's just going to go into big economy and big bio play to start things off. Blink starts up for DNS as well. So Blink starting as we see a couple more gateways being added on. I'm just going to be seeing the factory starting to build as well. So, not really. I mean, I guess the kind of extra racks early is kind of interesting. I mean, it's just the way the build goes, right? If you're going for a fast third CC off of one gas, you're not necessarily... I mean, you can maybe go into a factory and a tech lab and a cyclone. Obviously, Bunny doesn't feel as though he needs this here early on, and so he's just going instead in towards the... in towards the kind of multiple racks and stim very early. And he's just going to be building up towards what I imagine will be a very powerful +1 stim combat shields timing. I mean, not necessarily big timing, but just kind of getting up towards stim combat shields. Everything he needs for his bio to start dropping and trying to harass the kind of Protoss player around a little bit. A couple more gates finishing with DNS, just warping in a few stalkers here early on. I mean, DNS, if you wanted to get aggressive with this Blink, I actually would kind of like that, because I feel as though aggression of Blink against any kind of free CC opening is going to be very good, because when there's only really bio units out, and Blink Stalkers are actually very good at trading, you know, taking a couple of shots, then blinking away as they get low. Lots of potential as we're going to see the Reaper going down. Bunny not finding out any further information just yet as to what this is. Has never actually seen the Robo facility or the Twilight, so he either scans to try and figure something out here, or he just assumes. And as we gonna see these stalkers. Just gonna be coming up towards the upper right hand side. Stalker's gonna be coming up towards the upper right, and DNS is gonna like to pressure a little bit, but Bunny already positioned up on this high ground, on this low ground, I should say, which means he's got the kind of high ground advantage with this ramp, and he kills the observer too, which is really nice because that means DNS doesn't have the high ground advantage to play with anymore. Going to be seeing the Marines and Marauders just trading against these Stalkers. Actually, some well, I mean, the Stalkers taking some damage, but well, yeah, the Marines and Marauders are doing a pretty good job of kind of turning those away. So I mean, both players just kind of going into a very standard point in the game. Warp Prism going to start harassing a little bit as well, and we're going to be seeing this getting set up and ready to go. Combat Shields is coming in from Bunny, +1/+1 on the upgrades as well. As we see Disruptor's on the way from DNS, so his option to go, you know, his playstyle here is going to be kind of Blink Stalker Disruptor. And he's going to have fairly late upgrades as he goes into a second Robo right now to really add on to this Disruptor production. As a few SCVs going to start going down in this main base, and as we see, the Adepts will just get lifted and will be taken away though now. Again, a few Stalkers looking to push up the ramp, and when he sees this, pulls his couple of Marines back there, and will turn to fight, stims as well. So that'll take a little bit of energy off the medevacs, but, well, maybe a worthwhile stim, just to kind of make sure he kind of pushes those units away. I think actually, I'm not sure, some of these Marauders have been, maybe you stimmed the Marauders before there's a medevac here, because they look as though they double stimmed. But anyways, we're just going to be seeing these Stalkers continue to come back down towards the bottom left. Again, we'll push them up to the top side, not really doing a lot, as we see a depot coming down for Bunny in the back of his mineral line. We're going to be seeing Resonating Glaives starting up. And Double Forge, I mean, DNS is with the Disruptors as his kind of main tech tree early on. We're just going to be seeing the him kind of going in towards everything else he needs. A couple of Forges and just getting set up, ready to go. A couple of Liberators on the way out for Bunny, though, so I mean, he's already setting up into his kind of, you know, I talked earlier, actually, if you guys remember, way back when I talked in a TvP earlier today, about all the different things you can do in the TvP and how interesting a matchup has become lately, because it's become very interesting because of the fact that you know, there's so many different compositions, and we're sort of seeing that here because, I mean, we're first of all seeing that DNS is going into a disruptor-based kind of composition rather than something, you know, which is maybe not the most common way to play a PvT. When we see Bunny, he's going into kind of very fast Liberators rather than just continuing to mass up medevacs, so very low medevac number into Liberators. I mean, it's differences from both sides, and it's just fun to see this matchup playing out in different ways. It means there's always something kind of different to talk about as we enter the mid game. Unless you're kind of casting the same players, kind of playing in the in the series, and they kind of have set play styles. These Libra is going to catch that War Prism, of course, and War Prism is going to go down as that is full here. I think the Libra is one of the nicest things about Libra is, I mean, Libra is very, very good. The fact that it can take down a War Prism is fantastic, because War Prisms are one of them things which really kind of make Pro so powerful in the late game. Being able to just on-demand warp in units in your opponent's base is amazing, as we see these is going to come out. So having, Terran players having a way to actually really shut down the Warp Prism rather than just relying on turrets and Vikings which can't catch it, is a kind of a big benefit. I mean, obviously there's other benefits to the Liberators. But you just see jump here. So Defense Ballistics on the way, and Disruptor not going to connect on anything. If only could point itself upwards, maybe you could have killed a Liberator or two there, but not going to happen. As DnS just going to be looking to contest. I mean, both players looking to contest the middle of this map, but Bunny will just slowly push up the middle. Look at this, just kind of rows of Liberators just setting up kind of a couple at a time. So I mean, with the Liberator range as well, he has such a kind of range on these. He can really kind of just force DnS backwards and never really endanger himself in terms of positioning with the bio against the disruptors. So that's really nice of Bunny. He's actually going to kind of begin to sort of block his opponent away a little bit. He's going to start targeting down disruptor. He gets it, pulls away before he loses any units as well. And so DnS just has to be a little bit cautious. Bunny just slowly pushing himself down into this position. And I mean, DnS is realizing that this is now a kind of a lot of Liberators early. He started up his Stargate, he started up a second Stargate, and Fleet Beacon now also. He realizes here to fight against this, he realistically is going to need a. He knows realistically he's going to need a set of Tempest, because otherwise he's just going to be in a whole bunch of trouble. He's going to see a scan coming down, but he's just going to look to push that away. He's going to see a few more Liberators coming down as well. So a few more Liberators just sieging up. Disruptor from a different angle to usual. As Bunny, well, he'll see that and he'll be able to pick that away. As Stalker's blinking forwards into these Liberators. More Liberators going to siege on up. A few of these, obviously the first few Liberators go down. Big Disruptor hits though. Bunny splitting away from the last one at the end there. Able to kind of move away from that as these Marines and Marauders continue to fall. Actually, these Disruptors are getting a lot of damage done on Bunny's bio. There's been a couple of big hits. We're going to see once again these Liberators going to have to siege up to try and protect themselves from the Stalkers. I mean, Marines and Marauders here are helping out too. A few Liberators left over, but the Stalkers make it past the Liberator lines. And so now they can actually just pick away at these Liberators safely. And Bunny actually going to have to try and get away with these next Liberators, but he's going to be losing. Ooh, actually no, but DnS turns around. A little bit of a drop, well, not really a drop, but a little bit of, a few units over here for Bunny, who now boosts away those medevacs, trying to keep them alive. Big blink forwards will just get one of them. As you see, Bunny actually going to set more Liberators, and well, DnS has to make sure he's got more anti-air, because he has been kind of trading off a lot of his Stalkers previously for the previous fights. Bunny runs into the fourth base now with his reinforcements. Tempests are up. I mean, there's what, one Tempest up, fourth, more on the way. As Bunny unsieging most of his Liberators, going to pull them away. It looks like he'll just back away from this fourth base after taking it down. So good try by Bunny, as we're going to see DnS hopping on the chance to actually kind of take down another couple of reinforcements, just kind of coming through the center of the map. Bunny has another CC built here, but he's actually building another one at his fifth base. Which is obviously intriguing, as Liberators are going to try and set themselves up to kind of find a way to kind of evacuate this bio. This bio alone might just have to kind of, in the end, sort of give up. These Stalkers blink to chase the Liberators. I don't know where this bio is really kind of going to go. Maybe DnS just sort of forgot about it. He's chasing these Liberators. He's actually going to catch 1, 2, 3. And not quite a 4 for actually, Bunny gives up on it, but could have got it away a bit further. Actually, so does DnS. So a couple of mistakes here and there as we're going to see this bio stimming forwards. I mean, what can he pick off over here? Maybe a few Stalkers. I mean, just looking to trade as best he can. I think Stalker's one of the best things he can maybe kill right now. Big upgrade lead for Bunny, by the way. 2-2 against 1-1. And I kind of noticed that there when he kind of took down a unit trying to warp in. Went down in just a couple of seconds. As you see, Tempest just going to be killing off a Marauder underneath the Tempest. As we see, War Prism is just going to have to be a little bit cautious here. Lots of Stalkers, lots of Disruptors moving through the center of the map. As the Liberator is going to be going down, as we see. Again, just a couple more Liberation Zones coming in, and we're going to see the Disruptor is trying to connect, but not quite finding it. There's another Disruptor moves forwards as well. You can see again another couple of Disruptors coming on in, as we see. I mean, DnS is trading very, very well. Throughout this engagement, he's continuing to fight very, very effectively, very, very efficiently. Another couple of Liberators sieging up here. he's trading well with the disruptor shots. It's just he's still not making progress. I think he maybe just needs an oracle or something to try and drop a revelation and be able to really use the range on these tempests. But he's now making 5 Vikings at a time as a way to kind of counteract these tempests as well. As we're going to see, Liberators again just have such a range. We're going to see Vikings already moving forwards, trying to work their way against these. First Tempest is looking as though it might go down. In fact, it will go down here. DnS can't blink forwards because of the Liberators still. He can't blink forwards and try and target down them Vikings, so it's a little bit frustrating. This base now down the bottom right. So Bunny really setting up into more and more bases. We're going to see a big stim in. Bunny trying to avoid away from the, kind of dodge away from the Disruptor still, of course. As we're going to see DnS still looking to fight once more. Stalkers continuing to come in. And the Liberator's still in the back, and actually Bunny has continued to hold on this position. And of course DnS has only just now got his 4th base set up once again after that previous attack from Bunny, so I mean that is going to be a big issue for him too, as Vikings going to come in. That's the final Tempest currently on the map, at least with his army in the upper right side. Bunny is sort of being kind of pushed away in a weird way though, towards his kind of 4th base and away from his 3rd natural. I guess his 4th base over here. He's been pushed into his 5th base and kind of separated, he separated himself. I mean, this army in a very interesting position from DnS. It's got potential to do a lot of damage, but it's also very scary because if he commits too far, there is no way out. As we see the Vikings landing too, realizing there's no more Tempest currently, doesn't really see a need to kind of keep them in the skies, which is fair enough, it makes sense. One Disruptor at the front going to get caught here perhaps, but he trying to target it down. He's going to try and target it with them units that get trapped in the force fields, and he does take it down as well, so that's a good pickup for him. Now only 2 Disruptors in this army. Big link forwards, the Liberators are going to start falling. The Disruptors though, only one of them left over, and Bunny can maybe try and target that one down as well. Does it have its still on cooldown, so Bunny able to push this back, and that was not the engagement DnS was really looking for. Stalkers can of course blink away, but he loses everything that isn't a Stalker here. Absolutely everything that isn't a Stalker. So all these Stalkers going to be pushed away over to the left hand side. As we see him just going to try and regroup a little bit, I guess. A few more Stalkers, a couple more Disruptors coming towards the center. I mean, Zimroda's still just sat over here and going to be seeing a stim in potentially to see how this is going to go. Disruptor trying to get a good connection, but I mean, Bunny, look at this. Kills that Disruptor before it goes off, and he's catching all these Stalkers as well. No blink available on them. And so they're taking a huge amount of damage. He's going to see a couple of Liberators now going to try and come in towards the 4th base. There's no pylons over here or anything. I mean, obviously Stalkers can come in, but from a distance, Stalkers are not enough. He needs Phoenix. He's just making a Phoenix because I think he realizes the Liberator harassment is just going to shut down his mineral lines. As we're going to see Bunny just set up another couple of Liberators over here, and well, there we go. Stalkers blinking once again. Disruptor shot comes through. Bunny backs away. He doesn't actually hit anything. And that is going to be game right there. That is going to be Bunny moving on through to play E-Laser. Making very quick work. I mean, we're